Hello, friends. I am John Borrego. I am the interim priest at St. John's Episcopal Church in Norman, Oklahoma. And I'd like to do a reading for you from Philip Newell's book, Listening for the Heartbeat of God, A Celtic Spirituality. In the 6th century, Pope Gregory the Great was said to have been passing through the slave market in Rome, and he noticed that some of the slaves that were being auctioned off were exceptionally tall, handsome people. And he asked who they were, and he was told that they were Angles, that is to say, from the island of England. And he supposedly said, Non Angli sunt sed angeli. They are not Angles, they are angels. And he decided that such handsome people deserved the benefits of having Christianity brought to them. So he sent St. Augustine of Canterbury to England to bring the gospel. And he soon found out that there were already many, many Christians in the British Isles, particularly in Scotland. They had received Christianity centuries before, and they had developed their own very special type of spirituality. So there was a period of a number of decades in which the argument went back and forth about whether the indigenous spirituality of the Celts in Scotland should survive or whether it should be all brought under the authority of Rome. Celtic spirituality continued through the ages, even after the British Christians became, as they say, more Catholic than the Pope. So I'd like to read you a little bit from this book. This chapter is called Listening for God in All Things. Although the Celtic mission had been outwardly suppressed, its tradition of prayer and spirituality lived on, almost like a spiritual resistance movement among the peoples of the Western Isles, and as we shall see, its prayers were cherished and developed, often under the most adverse pressure and even persecution from the established churches. It is interesting to note that the references in these prayers to St. John are with affection. He is called John of Love, or John the Beloved, sometimes even foster son of Mary or foster brother of Christ, fostership in the Highlands of Scotland being regarded as one of the closest and most tender relationships. The most striking characteristic of Celtic spirituality in these prayers is the celebration of the goodness of creation. It is not surprising that in the Western Isles there should have been a sharp awareness of the earth and sea and sky. The people's livelihood depended entirely on the elements. Carmichael describes how they spoke when they met on the paths or in one another's homes, sometimes for gatherings called Caelids, where the old stories, songs, and prayers were heard again and again. Their conversations were often about the skies, the effects of the sun on the earth and the moon on the tides, or the ebbing of the sea and the life in its depths. In all of this, Christ was referred to as King of the Elements, Son of the Dawn, or Son of Light. The prayers in the Carmichael collection, known as the Carmina Gadelica, meaning simply the songs and poems of the Gaels, can seem romantic if we forget the harshness of the conditions under which they were forged and handed down. The sea was frequently dangerous and took the lives of many islanders, and much of the terrain was inhospitable. When crops failed, there was terrible hardship and famine. Nevertheless, creation was regarded as essentially good. One of the prayers of blessing, for instance, reveals how, before a journey or parting, the people would pray for guidance and protection for one another, almost by evoking creation's graces. The goodness of sea be thine, the goodness of earth be thine, the goodness of heaven be thine. Not only was creation regarded as essentially good, despite its harshness and destructive potential, but there was also a sense of God's grace being released through the love of the elements. The grace of the love of the skies be thine. The grace of the love of the stars be thine. The grace of the love of the moon be thine. The grace of the love of the sun be thine. The people believed that the grace of healing had been implanted within the goodness of creation too. There is a story of a woman from the island of Harris who suffered from a type of skin disease and was exiled from the community to live alone on the seashore. There she collected plants and shellfish, and having boiled them for eating, washed her sores with the remaining liquid. In time, she was cured. She saw the grace of healing as having come to her through creation, and so she prayed, "There is no plant in the ground, but is full of his virtue. There is no form in the strand, but is full of his blessing. Jesu, 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 Jesu who ought to be praised. There is no life in the sea. There is no creature in the river. There is naught in the firmament, but proclaims his goodness. Jesu, 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 Jesu who ought to be praised. There is no bird on the wing. There is no star in the sky. There is nothing beneath the sun but proclaims his goodness. Jesu, 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 Jesu who ought to be praised." The life of God was viewed as being deep within creation, as well as being distinct from it. A prayer of God's enfolding, clearly modeled on the ancient breastplate hymn of St. Patrick, which celebrates Christ in all things, put it this way: "The three who are over me, the three who are below me, the three who are above me here, the three who are above me yonder, the three who are in earth, the three who are in air, the three who are in heaven, the three who are in the great pouring sea." These prayers celebrate the presence of God in all the elements, but do not confuse God with creation, and are therefore not pantheistic, although superficial or unsympathetic observers sometimes reach this conclusion. The prayers distinguish creation from the Creator, between the source of life and living things, and express the desire to be true to God. Grant thou to me, Father beloved, from whom each thing that is freely flows, that no tie over strict, no tie over dear, may be between myself and this world below. Thank you for joining me for this reading, and we'll do this again sometime soon.